disabilities participating within this conference. And we also have professionals. We have educators. We have speech therapists. And what we want to do is to start a conversation, because we feel that there's an enormous amount of goodwill in Trinidad and Tobago at the moment. There are groups like the Down Syndrome Family Network and many other groups, obviously the Autistic Society, PAVI, who have been advocating and seeking to pressurize those with power to provide proper structures. Because it isn't that people don't know what is needed, but somehow we have not been able to create a consistent groundswell to ensure that adequate legislation and adequate policy documents are put in place to ensure the rights and the provision of services for persons with disabilities. This morning I will introduce you to Mr. John Patrick Clarke. I've known Pat for many, many, many years. I was going to say that too many years, he says. I won't tell you. I also know his son David. He is the father of a young man with Down syndrome who took my daughter actually to her graduation ball. And he is the CEO of Down Syndrome Ireland. He is the chair of the Disability Federation of Ireland. And I think he's the first person from a voluntary organization to head that group, and that group covers all disabilities in Ireland and represents persons with disabilities at governmental level. He's a former president of Down Syndrome International. He's on the board of the European Disability Forum. He told me to stop at this point because he has done so many things over the past 3 decades. And he is one of those persons who, alongside with Seamus, pressurized the government to ensure that persons with disabilities were provided with adequate resources and assistance within mainstream education. I'm therefore going to invite Mr. John Patrick Clarke to come up here and introduce our first keynote speaker, Ms. Eileen Dunne.
Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, distinguished guests, good morning, everybody. I wish to thank the organisers of this conference for allowing me to begin the session by introducing Eileen Dunne. I've known Eileen for many, many years, and we've worked and travelled together in our work for Down Syndrome Ireland and for people with Down Syndrome Ireland, and it is great to be here in her second home in Trinidad and Tobago. Eileen is a member of the National Advisory Council of Down Syndrome Ireland. This is a council of 14 people with Down syndrome, and it acts as a shadow board for Down Syndrome Ireland, and it informs the board and advises the board of Down Syndrome Ireland on the issues that concern them as people with Down syndrome, and the issues that concern them and their peers, and as citizens of Ireland, and indeed as citizens of Europe and of the world. People with Down syndrome are central to the work of Down Syndrome Ireland, and it is important that the board is informed of their concerns and the issues, and that while parents have a duty of care, we cannot continue to overly protect our people with Down syndrome, and we have a duty to create a society that allows people with Down syndrome reach their full potential as equal citizens in that society. Many of you may have read the article about Eileen and her family in The Guardian yesterday. An excellent article, but that it actually only scratches at the surface on many levels. Firstly, it does not do justice to the work that Eileen has done over the years, and certainly does not elaborate properly on her achievements to date. It also fails to portray the challenges and grasp the enormity of the problem that face people with Down syndrome and people with disabilities worldwide. And I can include my own country in this, and I'll speak more about that later on. Eileen and many of her peers with Down syndrome in Ireland have a story to tell. But rather than listening to me talking on and on, I think it is about time I handed the floor over to Eileen to tell her story. Ladies and gentlemen, I now call on Eileen Dunne to tell her story and her journey towards independence and social equality. Eileen, please.
Hello and good morning. My name is Eileen Dunne. I come Annan. I have Down syndrome. I am a member of the Foundation Advisory Council of Down Syndrome Ireland, which means I have a say in the running of the organization. 35 years ago, when I was born, the doctor told my mother and father that I had extra chromosomes which would cause trouble. He said that I might never walk. Actually, I have one gold medal for walking. He said that I might have learned to speak. My father said that it is a pity. The doctor was not right. I never stopped talking. The most important things for me was education. I don't want to discuss education, but rather the place where it happens, in the school. In Ireland, there are special schools which cater for children with special needs. From a wide area, they have to spend a lot of time travel in the morning and the afternoon. The children are truly cut off from their family and their friends and neighbors. My parents decided to send me to the local primary schools with my brothers. And that has made all the difference. The teachers and the children made me welcome. I became just another pupil in the school. I took part in all the classroom events. In the playground, I took part in all the games. I played on the school karaoke team. And best of all, I took to the stage for school concerts. Those 8 years were very happy days. When the time came, I went to school. I went to second level school in the town. When my father was a guidance counselor and my two brothers were students. 1 year later, my sister joined us. This was a new experience in my education. The school was bigger with hundreds of students and many new subjects. There were many highlights during my time there. I remember my school trips. Each year, our class went on a tour to some important place in the city or country. We saw many places and things that were new to us. The big tour was in our 4th year, which was our transition year. When we flew to Paris for 3 days, we saw many of the sights of this great city. And the raw ice cream was delicious. And another great moment for me was when I was picked to play on the school volleyball team. We traveled by a coach to a school about 30 miles away. I was brought up as a sub and scored many points because the other team could not return my serve. The supporters of the other team cheered me on. In my final year program, we did things to help us in life and after school. The biggest projects was the setting up of a company to make our products for sale on the market. We travel to many centers in the country selling the wall clocks. We had made. We got the finals, but only came second. My school days ended with the Deb dance. I still remember how proud I was walking into the hotel on my boyfriend's arm in my long blue dress. It was fabulous. My school days were really happy days. I was accepted by the other children to them. I was just Eileen. This has continued down the years. When I go shopping or to church or to a football match or clubbing, I am sure to meet one of my friends from school and have a chat about our life. My education did not finish. When I left school, I went on to college where I studied business study. I did very well on this course, especially in the computers in my work experience. At graduation, I was awarded the principal trophy for Student of the Year. I am back at college this year doing a media study. By the way, during my stay in Trinidad, I have finished a major project for my course and presented it when I get back to Ireland. To finish up, I would like to say, in my country, the attitude to Down syndrome has come on a lot in the past 35 years. But it still has the way to go. We are no longer charity cases. We are the people with the special needs. And it is up to the meetings like this one to point out how to meet those needs and help us fulfill our potential in life. We are the people with rights. We have the right to be accepted into the community. We have the right to have a voice in the community. For the last 70 years, I have cast my vote in every election. We have the right to have a job that is real. I am sorry to end on a negative note because the right to a job is welfare. Job is not there. When the people ask what it means to have Down syndrome, I say it's me. I am special. Thank you very much.